Yo and hello, it's me. Just call me T Marie, and welcome to yet another episode of PCPOV. Today's episode, I speak with three cousins. It's definitely a family affair. And today we talk about a lot of different things. This is the Tipsy podcast. This is the Tipsy Talk. We bounce around a little bit with different topics, but the main topic at hand is we speak to Rashawn and her platform and everything that she's building. We talk a little bit about, domestic violence, a little bit about homelessness, a little bit about being there for Black women and, helping them through their situations. And we also talk a little bit about, her raising children with autism and, what that means and looks like. And I share my own, experiences with, having a family member with autism. So this is a very, all over the place episode, but it's definitely a very informative one. So, as always, tune in, pour up, roll one, and let's get to the show.
Yeah. Now I can't go back to the Applebee's. You know how many people saw me in the ambulance wise? I haven't been back there since. He was like, oh, let's go to Applebee's. I was like, nah, that's the one. He goes, oh, that's the one? I was like, yeah, that's the one that Rashawn acted a fool in.
You would think, right, I'm saying
And
I'm having
then,
a heart
and
attack.
then she had the nerve to be like, come over my house again. Not even a month later, to me, oh, let me get an edible. Bitch, you were banned from any type of anything in my house. You cannot smoke a blunt in here. You cannot use a bong in here. You can't have an edible treat. You can't have a lollipop, a gummy bear, nothing. Get out my fridge.
Wait.
Your mama like the bullshit. I know she do.
Borderline depressed, borderline, in a creative. I'm just over every fucking thing.
She thinks, come
I don't
on.
even think she can do liquor.
Shut up.
Well, no, you can't deny the women.
Exactly.
She was walking
She
in the
said-
subway with no shoes on.
Wait, without socks?
No socks, no shoes.
Real Florida.
Man.
No service.
Real Florida.
No, I had to change my shoes because the
But
the boots are...
you always bring socks. Socks are easy to pack in your purse.
Stop. I am
No,
from...
that's just woman.
No, Florida women don't do that.
I'm not from Florida.
You be out here just raw dogging your feet on New York streets?
Oh, give me some more Coke.
Feet.
That's like a lot.
More
Coke,
Take
more
off
Coke.
your feet. Wait.
Coke.
Take off your feet,
More
More Coke.
Wait.
There's no more Coke.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh man. But so yes, we're gonna start.
What's the topic of the podcast?
Just talking about what I do when I want to
Yes,
accomplish.
Cause I feel like
That's dope.
On podcast?
Who?
Damien.
No.
Damien, like you're Damien?
Yes.
He has a podcast?
Yes.
So he does over with Starbucks?
Yes, he's
Oh,
talking.
okay.
wait, that nigga work at Starbucks and can't answer a DM.
You said Damien a DM?
I sent him a. You sent him a DM?
I don't know if I sent one or not, but I know I've seen his page. But yes, when I first started my podcast, he told me about them and mentioned that they have one too. And so I wanted to go sit with them and chop it up and all of that.
DM, I'm thinking getting the...
Oh no.
See, this is
No. I mean, I've never met him, but no, that was not my intentions. They had a barbecue or something of the sort that I was supposed to go to, and I ended up double booking myself that day, so I didn't make it. Which was going to be the perfect opportune time for me to show up and be like, oh, so y'all
Rub
don't...
some elbows, get to know some people. Go on.
Yo.
Yoshi. On the
I don't even know if we going to make it through the... Matter of fact, let me see this mic real quick.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, I feel like we just gonna do this, right? I can't even front though. I can't front. Like Rasan has been a very big contributor of my podcast, and I appreciate it a lot. Like he was my very second. Look at you knowing my episodes, girl. You about to make me shed a thug tear in this bitch.
I'm
I
not
wasn't
a
even
fan
trying to
of
be
drunk
interviewed.
Rayshawn.
What?
I'm not a fan of drunk Rayshawn.
What? I said.
Wait a minute.
This
Listen.
is different.
Listen.
Don't she get a little ratchet when she drinks?
What is wrong with that?
First of all,
Nothing,
my
but
first
she's
drink
just
was
like-
with Rayshawn. My first official
Hey,
drink was with Rayshawn.
Thank you. You
Ah.
think? What do you think? I'm so kind of square.
No,
Everybody decided. Wait a
you know,
minute.
let's turn on this pot. Let's turn this on because this is something I should say to you, and it needs to be on radio.
Oh.
Okay.
This is on.
Well.
But remember the last sentence.
Slut.
The last sentence she said. You think I'm some type of square? I'm gonna tell you exactly
Okay.
what I think of you.
Okay, well, we're just
Oh.
gonna place this just a little bit closer. We're gonna make sure that. And so we're gonna.
Is this gonna be a Maury moment?
No, it won't be more. You are my sister. That's
Wait,
Jerry.
So y'all are.
Jerry.
So wait, y'all are blood related?
Yeah.
all
Same
okay.
mom, same dad.
I'm
Really?
her older
Their
sister.
mom is my aunt.
Although she acts like my older sister.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time out. I'm gonna do the official introduction
Oh, okay.
before
Okay,
we get
do
into that. And so, it's been, I don't even know how many minutes at this point of actual footage that's gonna get used. But, welcome to another episode of PCPOV. It is the middle of the night on a Tuesday. I'm saying this for a very specific purpose. Because the amount of drunk that everybody in this room is and about to be is ridiculous. We are all adults and we should know better than this. However, we're here for the shits. So,
I know you ain't.
I
going
have three guests this week, and it's name, age, relationship status, occupation. Okay, Rasan, you've been on the show already. If anybody wants to know, he's back from episode 2.
Ladies first. Y'all ladies go ahead.
Oh, or ladies first. My bad.
Okay,
She
cool.
wanna go first?
My name is Ornisha. I am 30 years young. My relationship status is in a I am in a relationship. Have been one for a few years now, and my occupation is I work. I don't want to say what my occupation is.
Okay.
So what I would like for my
Tree hugger.
occupation to be
Tree hugger?
Okay.
is a full-time cannabis party thrower. There we go.
And cannabis is a very
Your
Okay.
age, your
Yes.
relationship
I just wanted
status,
to-
and your occupation.
Okay, so my name is Rayshawn Izu. I am 41 years old.
42.
I'm 41.
You'll be 42 in September. So say 42.
41 right now. So if I die right now, I'm still at 41.
Should be 41.
Thank you. Relationship
Basically
status.
42.
I have the relationship.
Crying for a penis.
Don't say that.
Oh, you can't say penis?
You can say penis, but don't say
She is.
Shut up.
Hey, call a spade a spade.
Yo, I hate y'all. Everybody's gonna think I'm desperate.
Finish. Okay, so you're single and
I'm single.
you are entrepreneur.
I'm an entrepreneur. I just launched my first female empowerment education forum called Is You Her, and that's that. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having my family, as embarrassing as it is. Go ahead, I'll give you right.
Don't think of it as embarrassing. Think of it as the most informal, formal introduction you'll ever have.
Okay.
And be okay with. And I tell you why. Because as I was mentioning to y'all before, like, I like for it to just be a regular conversation. Like, even though you gotta play to the mic because I'm poor and I don't have mic stands, it's still just a regular conversation. And we were in here talking about why you think your sister is a square.
I don't think she's a square. She thinks I think she's a square. I don't think she's a square. Maybe Rasan can help me with this. So, as one of the younger cousins of the generation of our family, I can recall looking up to you and what's her name again? Tamika.
Tamika.
Right. and like being in awe of y'all because like they were don't take it don't take it away. Yeah, because they always like they look so fly. My sister used to wear the finger waves back in the day, and she had like the tight
I'm Jamaican.
pleather outfits.
Happy Independence,
Happy Independence.
sis.
From many
Lord.
one.
You was born in Jamaica?
From many people one.
No, she wasn't born in Jamaica. She's born in Brookdale.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Kings County. What? Oh, I was Brookdale.
You and Daniel was Brookdale?
Daniel's Brookdale?
Yes.
I didn't know that. That's why we so fucked up. I'm telling you, Brookdale Hospital. They be.
Is that a Brooklyn thing?
Oh yeah, Brookdale. Brookdale is the Jacoby.
She has.
Brooklyn.
Of Brooklyn.
Yeah, you'll go in Brookdale with a broken arm and come out with a cast on your leg. So that's how. Big ups to BK.
So you
yeah,
looked up
so
to me and
I
used to
look at
wear
you and like
and pleather skirts.
No, you was just like a fly girl. Like you were it, and then because of our big age gap, we're 12 years apart. Like then when that was my time to be like the fly girl, you were a mom. So it's like it was weird of that transaction, and now I feel like you're that fly person again, or like becoming that fly person. So like you went from like hot girl summer.
I'm breakdancing, guys.
To like a corny mom, and now she's trying to be like a hot summer mom, I guess.
Yeah, I could be.
Yeah, so it's like this is new for me, and you were a mom for so long. Like my whole turn up period, you were momming it out. So it's just like, damn, for you to like call me and be like, hey, let's go out and do something. I'm like, what do you want to do?
You missed
like,
sister time.
Yeah.
I mean, but 12 years is a
big gap. But we didn't even get close until we got older though. So it was just like she's always been my older sister, so almost like a mother figure.
Right.
But she was like, like a cool mom, so to say. So it was like I couldn't wait to be old enough to hang out with her. Then when I was finally old enough, she was like a mom. Like ew. It's Shaka Zulu attire.
I mean, what kind of mom were you in the beginning?
Well,
An African mom.
No, she was a Spanish mom in the beginning.
This kind of.
We're making fun of her her choice in men. So the first one is Jesus from the Bronx, and the second one is Tony from. Where's Tony from?
Nigeria.
Nigerian.
Yes. Capital of the world.
Can you say that on the radio?
No, seriously. Oh, no.
Do you remember how you used to say her name? Rashawn. Like, ew. Don't say it anymore. Don't say her name.
She was in Wakanda before this.
Yo, you know when it was over for me, Rashawn, I went over her house and she was like, you want fufu? I said, do I want what?
No, you did
Fufu is good.
Fufu, really?
Fufu is good.
This
Stop it.
This person,
you see.
Jamaican who was just big enough Jamaica talking about
on.
No. How do you say it? How do you say it? Say it
Fufu
again.
with melon.
I'm not talking about fufu now. Say what you just said.
Agusi.
It's still in her. It's still in her. That Zozo we was talking about is still in her.
No, Zozo is Haitian. That's
See, you see?
And y'all was laughing right along with me. See, I'm not that.
You have to
be. Say that.
What's the difference between a Haitian scam and an African scam?
I don't know.
You know what? I'm not going to offend anyone.
Exactly.
That's why I'm not gonna go there. I don't know.
So I wanted to bring it back.
Yeah.
So part of my transition to what I'm doing right now is because of some of the poor choices I've made in men. And I made these choices out of desperate situations. So unfortunately, when you're in desperate situations, sometimes the choices you make your situation even more traumatic than it would have been had you been in the right state of mind. So my first relationship with my first son's father collapsed immediately.
Well, not immediately.
It did collapse immediately.
Well, it was right after you got pregnant, but weren't you?
Yes,
He was on
right
a run.
after.
He was on a run. Let's keep it a buck.
Wait,
Yeah, exactly.
What? Wait a minute, sir.
He had to go back.
First
to
of
Cuba.
all, that is
Cuba.
first of all, that is
He
her
was
truth
from- he
to
was from
tell.
the Bronx, okay?
Do not be on here outing people. If she wants to tell the
He was
situation,
from
you can
Highbridge.
tell me that off air.
Yes.
But don't be on here telling people business, even though they right here in the room. So now I'm gonna ask you,
Highbridge.
Where was he running from?
was he on the run?
He wasn't.
Okay.
He was just on the run from me.
He was on the run from her and the other two baby moms.
No, it's just one.
It was just all them kids from one.
I know nothing about homie.
Okay, nobody knows anything about homie because it
I
was
know
such a
some.
short-lived relationship.
I
I
remember
thought
him.
Rayshawn got pregnant by.
Radisha,
Poof.
please.
Okay, and all right.
Okay,
So he's not gonna
please.
sit here and try to
He
like shame her for her
Anyway.
choices
No,
because she's
oh,
grown.
I can't shame her. She's
No.
my sister.
I've
from it.
grown and
I
I've
could not shame her
matured.
at all.
But okay,
Yeah, you
so
can't shame nobody.
I had a son. I was living with my mother. We don't have the best relationship,
Wow.
That's common in the Cuban
and
family.
I was my living situation was chaotic and unstable. So I met my husband, my ex-husband.
In a taxi.
No, that's
I'm moving the mic from you because you don't know how to act
No,
over there.
That's accurate.
But what?
No, Tina, it really is
Not a
accurate.
joke. Like,
Wait.
she met the nigga in the cab. He was the cab driver. That's not a game.
All right, we're going to bring it down a notch. We're going to be serious about this.
I'm gonna start crying, yo. You be like, you want, man, you know what? That's not funny. Nah, it's not a game. That's how they bet.
We are
Was it in front of King's Plaza? He picked you
No.
up?
First of all,
No, Africans don't drive down cabs.
stop.
Too sophisticated.
Stop it. The both of you.
I think prejudice. Oh gosh.
No, we're really.
No, no.
Y'all are culturally insensitive.
I will not deny that.
No, in all
Everybody equally.
listen, in all seriousness, we're going to let her get through her story.
Thank you.
But that's part of the story.
No, it's not. Him driving a cab has nothing to do with anything.
But that's how they bet.
It is not detrimental to the story,
No,
young
she's
lady.
a cab driver, but I don't think a cab driver can pick me up.
Wait.
As I was saying.
They tried. So
No.
It's like, that's different.
Shut.
He picked up in front of King's Plaza.
Anyway,
Number 2, he did not. It was Restoration Plaza.
I knew it was a plaza.
It was in front of my job. That's how I met him. And I just want to address what she said. It's true because normally when your situation, when your home life and your social life and your life in general is okay, you make more productive decisions in who you want to have in your life.
Not to interrupt you, but it's more of a vain decision for me, not a productive one. Just saying, it's vain. It's not. Because there's nothing wrong with driving a cab.
No, it's not. It's not
It's
that.
just I wouldn't want
you,
to
honey.
like imagine like how can I ask you a question? I've always wanted to ask you this. So like, because I don't care about Tony, but I do care about like your history, like your feelings with him, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like when like your friends ask like what did your guy do for like a living? Like how did you feel? How did you feel like when you say like my nigga drive a cab?
Well, I actually he didn't want me to tell anybody that he drove a cab.
Oh, so he was ashamed of being a cab driver.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He would want me to tell people that he was a businessman.
Because he didn't drive for Uber. He was
Uber
an
is not-
independent. He was an independent.
Delivery cab.
Exactly.
Town car.
Yeah.
You know.
So what? So like, did you honor his wishes in that?
I did.
damn, girl, you was in love.
No, it wasn't.
You had to be in love.
No,
Because if I'm not, and you'd be like, oh, don't tell people I drive but you drive a cab. But that's what you do. If I love him and I care about his feelings, then I'm gonna lie. Be like, oh, girl, he a businessman. You know what he do? Like, he got 4 or 5 cabs. Like, what you talking about? He sent them to drive. Like,
listeners.
So you cared about his feelings. That's love.
The fact of the matter is, she went through something. She learned her lessons, and now she is on the other side.
True.
Yes.
But what I want to address that. So when I did it because that's what he asked me to do. I did it out of respect for our relationship. Was I in love? No. We were both in very desperate situations. I didn't want to live with my grandmother, and he wanted a green card.
I was about to ask
And so we didn't discuss it at length, but we both knew that we both needed something from one another. So we kind of pretended. It was that unspoken.
No money involved?
No money involved.
Yeah, no money.
I mean,
So it was almost like an unspoken agreement. And so our relationship became bad after we had children. No, I had one son with him, and my son was diagnosed early with autism. And that's where our relationship just it was already deteriorating, but it started deteriorating more rapidly after that. And he just became more verbally abusive. He started getting physical with me, financially abusive, just in all realms. And that's why, I am so passionate about doing what I'm doing, because I want people to know my story, hear my story, and if any of their story matches it, I would suggest highly that they get out of the situation, because I can tell you it never gets better. It never gets better. So after our first son was diagnosed, a situation just deteriorated more rapidly. And then when I had a second son for him, and
because I just watched this on, and not to compare your life to Love and Hip Hop, but I just caught up on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood premiere.
Okay.
And there's A1 and Lyrica, and they had, their issues or whatever. Well, I don't know if you guys watch, but
I used to watch. I'm familiar with some of the.
So like last season, their relationship was like completely like crazy. Like it was so much going on.
Okay.
They then decided to have a kid, and they both got really happy about the kid and was like, oh yes, this kid is gonna, bring us together, and we're so happy. And they did a gender reveal, and everybody loves everything. And then now on the premiere, the very first episode of this season, they both had to pretty much admit that this kid did nothing for our relationship, didn't bring us together, didn't make anything better. And I posted on Twitter, never in the history of niggerdom has a kid solved any relationship problem. Not that I know of, not that anybody that I know knows of. So now I have to ask, and I wouldn't be, being truthful if I didn't ask.
Absolutely.
If you already had a child that was
diagnosed
special, I guess to a special needs, to a, because I have a cousin, a first cousin that is autistic, and she's, I think, like in her 20s now, but I think she still kind of like operates at like at her teenage levels or something like that. I don't know exactly what her specific diagnosis was.
Right. Well, it can still be autism, but autism is a spectrum, so each person operates at a different capacity. So it could definitely be that she's in her 20s and her capacity for learning or socializing is much younger, maybe in her early teens, mid-teens. So it's definitely possible. But go ahead.
So yeah, so in that regard, it's like you've already had this special needs kid. You said it was a boy, right?
Yes.
So he already put a strain on your relationship.
Absolutely.
How did you both see fit to having another kid?
Well, it wasn't a mutual decision. It wasn't like we said, you know what, let's have another baby. It was, we weren't having normal sexual relations. It was just every now and again. And after a while, shut up, Rasan. Uses me. Okay, so let's go back to, what time is it? Excuse me. I'm
Why
sorry.
don't you just spend the night at my house and then just...
I have to give food to the homeless tomorrow.
What time is the first train out of here?
6 something.
And what time
That's
do
good
you feed
enough.
the
Them
homeless?
niggas just be around.
10:30.
Where the
Real
homeless
quick.
going?
First of all,
You see, this is why
that's wait.
when they are turned You see, this is why I don't have serious conversations.
That's not nice. That's insensitive.
That is very insensitive to homeless. Number one. Wait, but number two, I do want to speak to, what it is that we talked about that you were saying with the homeless. And, a part of your Is You Heard campaign and movement and everything that you're doing with that, you do service, the homeless population, providing food and all of that. So maybe speak to that a little bit. We're going to leave the personal stuff aside because I do want to give you a chance to talk about the things that it is that you're doing. I just didn't want to go too deep into it under the influence.
Well, yeah, right.
So you can talk about
I think we'll definitely talk again because, we're a little, tipsy, and that's fine. But I do want to talk to people in regards to why I started the company I did. Look at y'all.
I was just excited to use a dictionary word.
And part of my personal life and my professional life culminated to get me to where I am today. So me servicing the homeless also has to do with my personal life. I expressed earlier that my mother and I had a very tumultuous relationship in which she used to throw me out quite often.
You've been thrown up?
I mean, I chose to leave.
All the
She
time.
definitely tried to throw me out.
That's their way.
My
And
sibling?
so
Definitely.
I was alone by myself in the streets of Brooklyn as a person in her young 20s. I was fortunate enough that I knew how to navigate quite effectively, but it's a ugly scene. It was an ugly scene then, and it's an ugly scene now. So part of what I do, because and I also feel that trauma begets trauma. So because I was homeless, I didn't want to be homeless. And so when my ex-husband came along, he had his own home. He was working for himself. He didn't have much, but he had enough. And he was willing to share it with me. So that was, for me, that felt like a solution, but then it became a trauma because we ended up having a DV relationship. So
Google it, nigga. The fuck? You have a whole ass fucking iPhone. Google that shit. She's in the middle of talking and sharing.
Just not good. Just not
Google
In
it.
layman's terms, very bad.
Finish your story. I'm so sorry.
I'm
This
this is my family.
Bitch, I knew the word though. I knew
Anyway,
But no,
so
serious.
that's why it's important for me to service the homeless population that I do, because I don't want them to ever feel, at least with the small services that I do provide, I don't want them to ever use their desperate situation, because it is a desperate situation. I don't want to minimize their circumstances right now. It's desperate. Their situation is desperate, but I don't want them to make more desperate situations that can make that desperate situation even worse. And that's what I did. It became so bad between me and my husband. I was looking to go back into the shelter system. I was looking to go back into PATH. PATH, if people are not aware of PATH, PATH is located in Bronx, New York, where you have to start the process and to go into the homeless shelter system, if I'm saying that correctly.
See, I'm familiar with someone who went through the shelters, actually two people, one who kind of needed it and one who kind of abused it, but I'm not going to really go into detail with that, but
detail about that because I kind of worked for PATH through another agency.
Yeah, that'll be our show then. But I will say that I totally hear you. Like it's a fucked up situation when you're someone with kids and limited options.
Absolutely. And so, like I said, at that moment when I was thinking about going into PATH, even sadder was that I didn't even have enough money to get on the train to go to PATH, and that's why I didn't go. That was the only thing stopping me from going to PATH, because the situation was so desperate in my own household, where my husband and I were now enemies. We were now
with 2 kids,
with 2 children. He was no longer my husband. He was now my tormentor. So, oh gosh.
See.
So it became the solution for him now became the solution, the situation I wanted to run from, which is so odd when you think about it.
So now, because I don't want you to really focus on, what it is that you went through. I don't want you to focus on what it is that was your past. I would rather speak to who you are now and moving forward. And so a part of what I do on my show is I mention how I met my guest. And so it just so happens that the person who kind of linked us is in the room, which is Rasan.
And he's my little cousin.
So you guys are related, and he did mention to me,
younger cousin.
He did mention to me, everything that it is that you were doing. And so we kind of connected on Instagram because of him. Yes. And from then, you've been another, huge supporter. The girl who was on, I think this will be now this episode. There's an episode in between her and this one. But, she's another person who was introduced to me by somebody else. Yes. And has become like a huge support. And so I thank the both of you guys, like, for not knowing me from a hole in the wall. And you were able to sit here and tell me what episode he was on and yes. who said what and blah blah blah.
I'm a fan.
That really does mean a lot to me. And so I do stand by what it is that you're doing with Is You Her. And I think that is so dope that you can turn what you went through
right.
into like such I don't want to say motivation, because that just sounds so cliche, but it's one of those things where, like, in sharing your story and right. sharing who you are and your experiences, you can help somebody not make those same mistakes.
And that is exactly why I started this forum. That's exactly why I started what I started, because I don't want them to use their traumatic situation, their trauma, and to beget more trauma, because it can happen. It can happen easily. It happened to me. I just want to address something that you said. So when I decided to leave, right,
mm-hmm.
permanently,
okay,
because there was several attempts before, but I wasn't strong enough at that point. I didn't believe in myself enough to say that I can do this on my own, because it is a scary notion to be a single parent to 3 disabled children. So
wait, 3?
Yeah. So, yes, my older son, he's disabled too. We need to have another podcast so I can, because all of that, I know that right now it seems like, damn, but it does get better. It gets a lot better. It really does.
Wait,
My 2 children by my husband, they're both autistic. And my older son by my former boyfriend is autistic too.
So how do you manage 3, just like, well, I don't want to call them disabled, but 3, kids that are a handful and a half.
Right. Well,
plus everything that you're trying to do as well.
Well, I'm fortunate in that I've had a good, solid foundation in education where I understand the dynamics of getting early intervention in place early enough so they have progress happening in their life early on. My children all have had early intervention. I work with them because I am an educator. And they have made such tremendous progress that you would have to really sit down and speak with them for quite some time before you know something is not quite right.
Really?
Yes, they're doing tremendous, and I'm not just saying that as their mother. I'm saying that trying to be as objective as possible, but they're doing tremendously. I know that a lot of times we see on the media, we see images of autism. We see them they're nonverbal, they're stimming, they're having these antics that are a bit discombobulating to people who are around them. But those are not my children. They're able to converse, they're able to socialize, they read, they write. They're like I said, they're doing tremendously at in school and at home.
No, that's something that I do believe in that, because like I mentioned before, like I have a cousin who is autistic, right. And even though she's now in her 20s, like I remember like babysitting her as a kid. One of the things that my aunt would say to me is like, oh yeah, she knows how to put her
right,
cassettes in the, or not cassettes, but her like tapes in the VCR, and she knows what she wants to watch. She knows how to get on the computer. She can do blah blah blah. She just wasn't communicative.
Okay.
Like she couldn't I guess like have conversations.
Right.
And stuff like that. But like I do remember like walking into the house, and like there were certain words that were written on the like put on the fridge. So it was that. Like, if she says this is what it is that she means. Correct. Like if you want to know that. So I think that that's a really good thing. And I know a few people who work for like, I guess like not necessarily daycare, but like those places where developmentally challenged people Absolutely. Would go and like learn certain skills to be able to right. Self-maintain.
Absolutely. And like I said, they had the early intervention. I worked with them at home. I got them out of the traumatic environment that they were in. And just like I said, we've had our disturbances and issues along that trajectory. But right now we're all in a great space. Like I said, they're doing well in school and they're doing well at home. I like I said, I work with them. I still work with them as far as work is concerned. They all have chores. They have responsibilities. I think the secret to my success with them is that I don't treat them as if they have a disability, if that makes any sense.
No, that's them perfectly
as regular children. Go clean up your toys, make your bed, put up the groceries, take out the garbage, just like any other child. They know that if I need some personal space, they know to give mommy her personal space about an hour. They know their roles. They know my roles. They know their boundaries. I know my boundaries. We have a very good relationship, all four of us, and we all know what we need to do, what we want to do, what we have to do.
Wait, so when you say all four of us, that's the husband, ex-husband, still?
No, my
you and your children.
Absolutely.
Okay, so their relationship with their father is
non-existent.
Wow.
And so I raised them on my own. I am a single parent to 3 autistic sons, and they're all doing quite well.
I am in awe of you every day, dealing with not one, but 3 disabled children. Even like with myself and Lily, like it's a lot to
Right.
deal with, and I have a partner, and you're doing this on your own. Like there's times where I'm stressed with help. So for
Right.
you to do it on your own is just I think it's fucking amazing. Shit, sorry.
Right, but it's just
Oh,
like
okay.
It ain't that kind of podcast.
I just don't want people to think that, oh, that's their parent. She's just saying that because she's their mother. I'm trying to be as objective as possible. They're doing great for all of the obstacles that they have, disability wise, social wise, because they still are black men.
But you
All of them.
you also got to understand
That
there's
it's-
different levels
exactly.
on the spectrum,
That
and people make you feel
Autism
like
is a spectrum disorder. So there's mild and there's severe. A lot of times, which the media puts out this image, and it's a disservice to all of the people who are on the spectrum. They just show the more severe, and there are people who encompass the whole spectrum. My children, and thank the Lord for this, they are more on the mild moderate, but they still are disabled. So with that being said, that's how I'm able to work with them. That's how I'm able to have such progress with them. Is it difficult? Very much so. But like I said, I've been fortunate that they're mild and moderate. They can understand the do's and the don'ts. And I've been able to work with them because of my own educational background and because I put early intervention into place early enough so they can definitely get the full benefit of it. So they're doing well. But that all goes back to what I'm doing because it's still trauma, right? It's still all trauma. And I want people to know, especially women, that even with all of that trauma in their lives, they're still able to progress and grow and function and be healthy and happy and whole.
No, and I think that is a amazing message to stand behind, and that's part of the reason why, when Rasan suggested that, I check out your page and,
Right.
See what it was that you were doing, that it really was something that I could get behind because,
Right.
like I mentioned to you before, like I really and truly do stand behind, the message of empowerment.
Right.
And specifically, and I'm going to be on record for saying it, specifically to help black women. Granted,
Right.
that may be, opposite of your business practices or whatever. You want to be more inclusive.
Right.
However, I feel, what I can contribute is to make sure that this type of information and these types of conversations get into the hands of the people who I feel it needs to get to. And that is something that a lot of people don't talk about because I don't know anybody else in my family who's willing to come out and say, like outside of my cousin, only because I've had to babysit her.
Right.
Is why I know, but I'm not 100% sure. Like if her brother tells people, if her father tells
Correct.
people, if her mother gets out and tells people, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how much.
There's a shame and stigma to that. There's a shame and stigma to a lot of situations that's not deemed socially acceptable. That with homelessness, disabilities, domestic violence, so on and so forth. And I want to put a spotlight to that because that needs to be discussed.
Absolutely.
And it needs to, and what else needs to be discussed is that there's life after that. There is hope after that. My homelessness situation. So after I left my husband, right? Not only did I get my own apartment, I am now a homeowner, right?
Amen.
Right?
I want to be like you.
No,
Right.
real shit.
And I want people to understand that once you start making decisions that are not based in trauma, but are based in assessing your situation, owning your own responsibility in the situation, and making different decisions, do you start seeing real progress happen.
Logical thinking, not emotional thinking.
Exactly.
Well, no, because emotional.
Bless you.
Woo. Emotion. No. Because emotional thinking on behalf of she is a mother of 3 children,
Mm-hmm.
she has to now provide. Thank you. She has to now provide for those children. That is a level of emotional thinking that will take you to another level.
Correct, but that's for more of a nurture type of thing.
Okay.
You're the only penis in the room, so clearly your opinion on that is
and like I
not
said,
gonna, resonate with anybody in here.
right,
and
so but it goes to each individual, so they have to they have to
Shit don't go well.
they have to assess their situation.
No comment.
They have to assess their own situation, and they have to have some critical assessment, not critique themselves, not criticize themselves, but critical assessment, and then start having some divergent thinking. Think outside of your normalcy. Think outside of your comfort zone.
No, that's hard to tell somebody. No, but that's hard to tell somebody
Right.
if they are conditioned to think and believe in a certain way.
Exactly.
You can't just ask them to just think outside. Hold on.
That's why.
Hold on. We're gonna have he and I are gonna have this conversation
Let's go.
because you cannot ask someone who is raised and conditioned a certain way to think outside their box without that access and without knowing that there's something else out there. It's hard to ask someone to just imagine some shit.
I get what you're saying with that type of person who. I get what you're saying with that type of person who's conditioned to that type of lifestyle. But there are people out here who are not conditioned to that lifestyle and still have that same type of mentality. It's like,
well, that's unfortunate.
and it's a lot of people like that.
And I understand that. I really do, and that's why it needs to happen. It's and please, I hope that nobody takes offense to this, but it's hard to look at the man in the mirror. It's hard to take responsibilities for our own actions in the situation that we are in right now. And it's true. It's true. It's true. It's ugly. It's ugly. And I say, when I tell people to take that step, take it and take as much time as you need, because it's very traumatic to say, wow, look at all that I've contributed to where I am right now. Right? So now we have to have that's why I'm saying that critical assessment of ourselves. And then learn to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself.
There are some people in this world that feel that when they look at themselves in the mirror. Sorry. There are some people in this world that feel when they look at themselves in the mirror, they see no wrong. There's a lot of freaking people like that.
Exactly.
I would like to take all those people and shoot them in the back. Like,
No,
I'm just saying. I'm joking, dramatic. But it's like, yo, come on, like the world and the life does not revolve around you. Come out your character. Correct. And see what it is you're fucking doing. And be responsible for your actions.
But like I said, in that, do you start to have some? I wrote on the Instagram. I said, what was that? I said what?
I didn't mean to laugh.
You just said I wrote on Instagram.
On the Instagram.
On the Instagram. What
did I wrote?
What are you,
I
60?
I wrote on the Instagram.
I wrote on the Instagram today.
On the Instagram.
And my grandchildren liked it.
No, so you wrote on Instagram.
I'm sorry. I've been drinking. So I wrote there, I said, introspection brings revelation.
I like that.
And then and introspection brings revelation. It does. It's not beautiful revelation, but it brings revelation. And with revelation brings liberation. There's nothing better than freedom, right? That's why I'm saying when you're doing that assessment and you're doing it critically, and it brings forth some things that are ugly about some of the things that you've done to bring yourself into that situation, take some time to own it. Take some time to absolve yourself. Take some time to forgive yourself. And then, and only then, create a plan of action, right? Create some type of plan of action. And something that you're not
comfortable with being
Wait, you said what? Get comfortable with comfortable.
Absolutely.
Can I have a conversation with you the y'all was telling us to somebody.
We have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And in that,
Not be comfortable.
you
When
sure
get
can.
comfortable, you be complacent.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
big words, man.
You
Complacent was an excellent word.
Oh,
That's a that means stand still.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
drinking, so I don't give a fuck.
But all of the jokes aside, no, I really and truly do, understand exactly where you're coming from, because I mean, for me personally,
okay.
whenever I get to a place of comfortability, I get anxious. Like that's like when my anxiety happens to kick in, because it's like, all right, shit is way too smooth. But I don't necessarily think that that's a good thing, because I should be okay with places of peace. But I feel like maybe not get comfortable being comfortable, but don't ever be complacent, because I feel like there's a difference between comfortability and complacency.
Okay.
Because you should be comfortable wherever you are, whether it is,
I would say be
You
You're
should-
comfortable
secure.
in your own skin, in your own bubble.
right. Like, I
Okay.
don't want people to feel like your comfortability, your comfortability should not be, questioned. Your complacency is, like, if you're at a place in like to me, like, I think that when it comes time to like asking yourself those hard questions,
Okay.
it is taking an inventory where you're at. So it's like, in my current state, the way that my life is right now, am I happy? Am I sustainable? Am I comfortable?
Okay.
I think that's the last question. That is a hard question, because a lot of people
But
can't
that
take
comes
that
with-
type of, like, they can't
but
take
that comes
ownership
with
to
assessment.
say. No, I was about to say, because they can't. It is a hard question, because if your answer is no, I'm not comfortable. No, I'm not happy. No, I'm not sustainable.
Exactly.
What are you gonna do?
Thank
Are you gonna
you.
stay there,
Thank
or are
you.
you gonna change it?
And-
That's what makes it
and
hard.
Tina, that's my point in and of itself. That you have to ask yourself those hard questions. That's an assessment. That's a critical. It's true. It's very true.
A lot of people don't wanna
Because-
ask themselves
okay,
that
so
question.
I think there's some discrepancy
It's serious.
with comfort and complacency.
I mean, let's be honest. How
I
many people
don't-
want
I-
to go
I-
out there and go start a? Sorry to cut you off, but
Sure, no,
how many
don't
people
worry
want to
about
go out there and start their own business?
It's
Get away
true.
from the 9 to 5.
It's
Get away
true.
from conforming to what society
It's
is.
true.
Everybody wants that. Everybody has that.
No,
They
like,
want it. They want
everybody
it, but
says
they
they
don't want
want
to
it.
do it.
They
They don't want to
say
take
they-
the legwork to
Exactly.
do
They
it.
don't want to put the
But
effort
listen to
in.
the question that you asked me. You said how many people want to do that.
Right,
I think
that
a
was
lot,
your question.
Okay.
A lot of
Alright,
people want
alright.
to do that.
I
The
refer-
question
okay.
should be how many people actually have the drive to do it.
Okay, that is my question then.
Or
How many people have the
can I
drive?
have-
nerve.
can I have
Not
some-
even the
Because
drive,
I
the
know
nerve to do
when
it.
I found out how much it is to start a business,
Right.
$300, nigga, I got $500 sneakers. I stopped buying sneakers and
but
started a
that's-
business.
But that's part of the point. What Tina was talking about earlier was about being conditioned. A lot of us are conditioned to be workers.
And that's because of the bullshit school system we went through. We didn't learn. We didn't have financial literacy.
It's true. We were just talking about
We didn't
that.
have like ways to get houses and credit
It's true.
literacy.
It's
like
true. And
we
that
had some
should-
real fuck
we
shit.
Should, and for me, financial literacy, especially in the Black communities, should be a mandated course. Of course. Extremely lacking.
How many of us in the Black community could say their parents used their names for something for a bill or some shit?
Right. But it's a sad fact. But it's a
Granted-
But it's also ignorance in the Black community.
It
because
is.
They think, oh, it's not that.
It's not that important.
damaging.
Like I know
But
a few.
it
I know a
is
bunch of people
damaging.
who trying to buy houses now.
Right.
Never owned a credit card, besides like a Macy's or a Target card. That ain't shit. A Star card is not gonna build your credit score. You know.
But that's something
Never,
that they need to
never.
be taught.
You know.
And a lot of times in our
But yeah, we didn't. Okay, there's a lot of things we didn't get taught in school. But why is it you wasn't that type of person to be like, yo, I see this mofo over here doing this. Why can't I do that? Like I know me personally, when I was in school, I hated school. I only like school for girls.
If you, but no.
No.
The reason why people don't ask those questions is because they don't know those types of things existed.
Because
no. Because honestly, me being the person that I am growing up, like I didn't necessarily know anything about my parents putting things in their kids' names, because that's just something that we didn't do in my family. Like I don't know anyone in my family who has put things in their children's name and blah blah.
We don't have nothing in our name.
But I know about things like that because I was more versed in hearing about other stories, other situations, and blah blah blah. But so I feel like if a person is not in a place of privilege to be able to explore those different things, they're not gonna know that those things exist.
I see what you're saying, but all right. How about take this for instance? Like me, I grew up a TV kid. Like all them different shows, right? No.
Channel 5, the karate shows and
all that shit, right?
The cartoons.
Like me, I was always I guess because I'm a nerd, I was always a questionable person. How did this work? Why did this work? How did you get that? Like, I've always questioned stuff like that. So it's like, when I didn't learn certain things in school, I felt at an early age school was bullshit. And that's why I only took school for females and sports. Like, to be honest, I didn't care about graduating high school at one point. I mean, I graduated.
Wait, that was a thing?
Yeah, like, I'm like, what is fucking school? What is the point of school at one point? Like,
wow.
I already saw myself as an entrepreneur, businessman.
And I'm gonna
I'm drunk. I'm speaking.
I'm gonna testify to that. Rasan has always had an entrepreneurial spirit. He's always been a talented young man. True.
Not the bad type.
Not the bad hustler.
Not the bad type.
I ain't lived that life.
It's true.
I knew how to get money different ways.
But again, and is you her is for all women. But I will never ever say that social issues disproportionately affect women of color 3-4 times more than it does any other person,
of course,
any other woman.
Women are most
of any ethnicities, right?
Race in the world.
Black women.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, I got it twice as bad.
Not even.
No, I'm just saying that as far as
right.
A black man. Yeah.
So a lot of times when they set these aspects, these quality of life institutions in our neighborhoods, they're of lower quality. They're not the effort is not put in as much as other places, and either one of three people. You want to be you're determined enough to get past it and move on with your life. You get through it and you just graduate with just enough, or you drop out. And that's the mindset of the black community. I would say that's the concept of the black community. A lot of times we fall into one of the three categories. I fell into the first. I was determined to use whatever I got out of the school system and move past it and get into higher ed, where a lot of the confines that we had in our school systems that was in the people of color, black communities, was not there because their worlds are more expanded to include everybody.
And Rayshawn, I will say this, like, you being my older cousin, whatever, you definitely was an inspiration. You getting shit.
Thank you.
All these damn degrees, and like, you're good. Cause me, shit. I got my associate's degree because I was bored. I was actually out of work. I lost my job, and I was bored in the crib. I beat Gears of War 5 when it first came out, and I was like, yo, I'm tired of staying in the crib. What the fuck? Like, I really don't want to go back to work. You know what? Fuck it.
What
I'm gonna go to TCI, go get my degree, and see what it is.
TCI even still accredited?
Nah, they not. No, they're still accredited, but they're no longer a school anymore. They closed down. One of my boys was just there.
On Family Guy, when he was like, my son got into TCI, so what do you have to do? Open the door?
Yo, honestly, all jokes aside, yes, I went there, but what she just said, yo, that's fucking accurate. Yo, niggas was playing dice in the school and shit like that.
Dice?
Like,
Yo.
but I graduated. I got my degree.
Excellent.
And I am looking to, I started on my career, my bachelor's. It's just, shit is like hectic right now. Like I got a business to run.
It's
I can't
true.
get my good degree if I'm trying to if I'm doing my business.
And I have to say, also, I don't want people to think I'm a square or a geek or anything like that. But while
wrong with being a nerd.
while I'm
No
also
comment.
running this business, and while I'm also
Damn good fucking show.
while
My Little Pony.
I'm not gonna go there.
while I'm running the business, while I'm raising the children, while I'm a homeowner, I'm also going for my doctorate in education.
Oh.
And that's what I also want people to see. I want them to
Oh.
see that it's possible. I don't want them to see any difference with me and them. And my success is not going to be their success, but I want them to know that they can have success, even with all the traumas I've been through, even with all the traumas that they're going through, that they can have an aspect of success.
Because like you like school though.
I don't like school.
Nigga, you went to Nazareth and you happy about your book. I'm watching you like,
No, for real, you don't like school.
I like school, but I mean,
With that big
as
ass
a,
book bag you had?
You know what?
I like school up to
I'm
a
mad
point.
y'all just
It's a
really
lot.
ruined her nice moment.
Thank you.
That
Thank you.
like
Thank
y'all
you.
really
You're my ally.
like you really.
I really thought
She-
you enjoyed going to school.
No, I
No,
don't.
so did I. Sure.
I enjoy school up to a point. After a while, it gets
After
to
your
be
associates?
What do you?
the doctorate. I
Right,
have
but
my
no,
doctorate.
no, wait. Time out. Time out. Y'all all gonna chill out. Right now. Y'all don't see that that's a money move and not necessarily
Thank
I
you.
want to, but I have
Definitely.
I
to.
agree with it. I agree with doctorates. But
again-
I will. Hold on. I know a guy, because we all used to work at Sports Center, right? There was a man who
Ma'am.
got his doctorates, and right now is sitting doing 25 to life.
Who?
Jim
Dr. Chakoti.
What?
He was stealing from Sports Center.
He got 25 to life.
Wait a minute. What is happening right now?
Yo,
What
I got
is-
blocked from Sports Center because of this motherfucker.
What is happening right now?
She's just like, I'm gonna cut this podcast because these people.
Doctorates all you what?
I don't even know what is going on. Like
I didn't say I wasn't gonna be a
this,
criminal. I said I'm gonna.
this
get my
could be a
doctorate.
whole ass indictment charge right now that these niggas is confessing to. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what.
Part of the scam.
Of course, Rasad's going to always be part of this scam. You can
He
always.
didn't know he was part of the scam.
I don't
They
know
paid
what
like
they're.
$50
I don't
for
even
coming for
know
an hour
these
and a half.
people.
Like, what are you talking about?
Rasad is always the indirect part of us.
Yeah. Oh, I should ask for more money.
I don't even know.
Anyway, I'm sorry
Can
about
you
that.
pull the
This is
closed door,
depress-
please? Thank
that,
you.
You know, digressed the.
This is.
Yes, I'm sorry to digress the conversation, but what I was trying to convey, and I want to use that all doctorate, entrepreneur, homeowner, single mother to 3 children, 3 disabled children. I want that all to mean something to someone. I want them to know that with all of the traumas and all of the poor decisions, all of the situations that I've gotten into that were negative, I was able to make a success of my life. It may not be someone else's success, but it's a success nonetheless. And I want them to know that whatever situation that they're in, they can make a success of their life, whatever their success is. But they have to make those decisions to assess their life, and have critical assessment of their life. Don't criticize themselves. But you have to make critical assessments. Then, when you have those critical assessments, learn to be able to own your responsibility in those situations.
What was that? What was that
Forgive
noise?
yourself for your responsibility in those situations. Make a plan of action and then execute it, right? And even if you execute your plan of action and you fail at it, you still tried. You're still a winner, right? Because there's some people who never try.
People who
Nah.
failure. And
Right,
won't try.
right, exactly, and
My
that's
first company.
right.
That's
But
what
you
it was.
tried, and that makes you a winner. And when you try and you fail, guess what? You tried. That's makes you a winner. And if you fail, you're learning from that situation, so you won't emulate it again when you try again.
See, I don't know, cause I be on my Ricky Bobby shit, and if you ain't first, you last. And if you gonna try, then you at least owe it. If you're gonna hype yourself up to try,
Right.
you might as well have enough fuck it to take that shit all the way.
Look at Kanye.
All right,
Right,
I'm
right,
not about to.
But
We're not about to
I'm
talk
just
about
talking
that.
You
how
said
he
new
came about.
Kanye.
Okay, I appreciate
Old
that.
Kanye, look at what he did. He kept doing what he had to do. He kept saying, I'm a rapper, I'm a rapper, I'm a rapper.
Right.
Nigga, shut up. Go make some
And he made Through the Fire with his jaw wired.
I was about to say don't even mention that because she just
off that shit.
But
not necessarily. That's part of the reason why she's mad though.
No, she said she was mad because she didn't like it. But she made coins. She didn't negate that. She didn't deny that. When it was asked, yo, did you make some coins over that? She said,
Didn't she write the song? She wrote the song, right? So
It was her song that got sampled. Yeah,
Right.
he sampled it.
It's an excellent point that you made, right? When he rapped Through the Wire, he was in serious pain. He just had his jaw. He had his jaw. Yeah, exactly. And made a hit song and made a name from him. Made for him a name as a rapper from that song. Exactly.
He was rapping his first introduction.
Right.
His mouth was wired or whatever because he got robbed or something. They beat his ass or whatever. That's like there's a bunch of different stories. But his whole mouth was
But
wired.
those are situations where they tried and they saw success when they first tried. A lot of times when you try, you're not going to see success in your first try. You're not.
Well, Kanye didn't see success on his first try.
Well, he did Through the Wire. Yes, he did.
No,
That wasn't his first
that
try.
wasn't.
Yeah, that wasn't. He had been.
He got
No,
That's
no.
what he called
Wait.
maybe.
Ma'am,
That's
ma'am,
part of it.
young lady.
Wasn't his first song, and correct me if I'm wrong, Through the Wire? Or
No, that was his first like Billboard
That's what
charting song.
He had 4 mixtapes Louis Vuitton Don. At least 4. He had a bunch.
Okay.
Just like Nicki Minaj, she was a big underground rapper before she became.
Okay, so I just want to apologize.
That's fine.
I meant his first song.
Yeah,
which
big
was
release.
Through the-
Say this, his first
Wire.
album got me through college. That
And
shit
isn't
was
it
great.
College Dropout? That was his
Yes.
first.
My
I was
professor,
supposed to say that.
I had 2 professors
Yeah.
that hated that album because I would play that shit daily.
Well, because he was making fun of the fraternity.
But he was being real about the shit. He was being
It's
real
true.
about what college was.
It's
for
true.
him though.
No, but that's
But
a lot of
that's
a
not
lot
college
of
for
people, though.
everybody.
A lot of people
Especially
can't
in
do
the
college.
South. But hold on, but in the South, fraternities and sororities are a big thing. Like
Humongous.
They're put into it before they're even like close to college.
I will say
like
this.
my homegirl, she went to some type of program as a little kid. Like we put our kids into swimming and dance and stuff like that. One of her programs was like something to be a Delta or like a Delta little sister.
Oh, yeah?
Or something
see-
like that. Yeah,
Oh,
but they
cool.
have that in the South. They don't
But
have
see,
that
my
here for
my
us.
thing with all
So
the
like when
fraternity
New
shit,
Yorkers go into fraternities and sororities, it's like a
whatever.
brand new thing for us.
That's a whole
Unless we were taught any better.
That's a whole Greek shit. That's Greek letters.
But
that's
it's
not
how
our
there's-
fucking letters.
But there's power in those letters.
I get the
And
whole.
there's
I get
history
no
in those letters.
Anisha, I get the whole thing about it. Like, oh, you could get a job just like that, a high-paying job, whatever.
Is that
but it's
true?
still
It's about
Greek
networking
shit.
and
That's
connection.
white. That's a white man shit.
Mm.
Where's our African shit? Where's our African?
True.
Shit? Seriously,
They have them.
not much.
No,
what's
there's
more?
There's an affiliate group. They don't consider themselves Greek, but I.
'Cause
do
it's
know
not
like
Greek.
it's
But
called-
they're a
Greek.
fraternity or a sorority?
It's like they are like.
But they're
Are you
not-
talking about Masons?
No.
No,
it's
Mason's
Groove-
different,
It's
no.
Groove, and I forgot what.
But
Okay.
see, it's not on the platform as the Greek letters though.
It's
True.
not on the same platform.
And that's the
however,
bullshit.
People who don't want to be a part of the Greek letter organization,
Okay.
they
We gotta-
seek them out and they find them.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got a cousin who became a Greek.
Who?
Johnny.
Johnny?
Yeah.
He's
Oh.
a-
And I even questioned him about that. I questioned him about that, and I was like, "Yo,
Right.
my nigga, you pro black and all that other stuff. How you figure you get into this Greek shit?" He was like, "Oh, because I understand what I felt, their meaning of this fraternity, and it's the only fraternity that I felt, and shit like that." I know the signs is like this or some shit.
It's a
like that.
cute dog.
That's a
He's
Q.
a Q. He's a Q.
Okay.
He's
And
a Q.
and to be honest, I know a lot of black men that's throw that
Qs.
sign up and shit like Q's, whatever it is. And I get it, but me personally,
I've never been
I'm not
into
fucking doing it.
sororities or fraternities. Are you okay?
I've been to the parties. I like the parties.
Yeah, but it's more.
I
than
like
just
some of the
parties.
bitches,
It's-
but it is what it is.
Bitches. Damn.
First of all,
It's more than
I will not let you disrespect.
I'm not disrespecting.
Thank you.
I'm just saying.
They not, because I know way too many sorority chicks. I know a lot of I know a shit ton of deltas. I know a handful of AKAs, and my best friend is a Zeta.
I've
I
never
will
been
not
into sororities or fraternities.
let you disrespect any of them.
I'm not
Cause they go
disrespecting
through
no
some
one.
shit to get them letters. And I-
Listen, let me tell you
I
something.
fuck with them for that.
Let me tell you something. The main reason why I never joined a sorority is because I know my mouth.
Yeah.
And being as somebody who grew up in New York but went to school in Atlanta,
It's different.
they wasn't gonna be
See,
able.
that's what I was trying to get.
It wasn't gonna work.
What school did you go to?
I went to Georgia Tech.
Oh, nice. I went to when I first started school. I went to
The resort.
it was the resort, Bethune-Cookman College. That's an HBCU.
Okay. Yeah, we've.
It's in Daytona.
When you was telling
But
me
you
say you went to Daytona Beach. I'm thinking that's a fucking college.
No, it's in Daytona Beach, and Daytona Beach is very beautiful. However,
I thought
and you know,
college was at the time. I thought
it's Bethune-Cookman College. So
So I was about to say, like, I think they were in our Nesby region. I think
Okay.
they were, yeah. I believe they were in our Nesby
I
region.
thought you did that when you came back up.
Ooh, excuse me.
I'll be honest. I took your word for it. I never looked up at them. I was ignorant. Just cause
Whatever.
Listen to you saying you went to this and this and your little college career and shit like that. It was cool. Like
continuing college.
I mean, not even continuous. Like,
Well,
nah,
listen,
she did the going away shit. Something that I wanted for my daughter, but
Right.
she
can still have that.
Huh?
She's going to
Hunter.
yeah.
Whatever. But some people, just mind
You,
Me?
you over there.
Is she a troublemaker?
Word.
I'm just sitting there.
Like, people want
I
to.
resent that title because I'm just sitting here chilling.
Listen, it takes one to know one, and I know.
What the hell I said was funny.
Listen. Let me explain.
My business.
Let me explain something. It takes one to know one, and the way you said, "Oh, she's not going away," and the face you made after he said no, I know what that means. But no, don't feel no type of way because don't feel. Listen, don't feel no type of way because I said the same thing. No, we not going.
Exactly. We want him here.
Yo, you know what? You know what? On that note,
That's the one who fucking.
Thank you so much for giving
Yes.
giving me the platform to discuss.
we ending this
I
because
hope-
you.
I hope that you please.
No,
edit
this
that.
was dope.
I love my cousin. I want him to live many years after this. No, in all seriousness, thank you so much for the platform. I really appreciate it. We will talk more in depth.
We
in
will.
the next podcast.
Yes,
but
we
thank you
will.
so much for giving us.
Right when I
platform.
when I get my camera, I definitely promise that you will be one of the first that I actually do sit down because again, I do. You know what? On that note, I'm going to end that because I can't. Bye.